Happy Sunday, everyone. What a beautiful day out there. The sun's shining. Let's go. Throat's a bit sore. Screaming the house down last night, watching Rafferty fight. So today we're going to talk about perspective. Right. This is a strange one for me because my perspective on myself, my life, and my actions for so long was it was a part of me. Like the way I seen the world and how the world had played out in front of me, it determined a lot of things in my life. And it wasn't until I was able to get completely drug free that I realised my perspective was shaped off of not only my experiences but my continued drug use and abuse. Sitting here now, so many things have changed, and it's extremely hard to accept it. Like, it really is. Like, as happy as I am and as glad as I am that my life's going the way it is now, it's, I've said this in previous posts and videos. People will always say, oh, don't live in the past, you can't change it, you can't do this, you can't do that, don't think about it, basically. When you've thrown the best part of 21 years of your life away and spent close to 14 or 15 of them locked up in and out of custody your whole life, it's got to take a pretty shitty perspective of life for you to continue to do that, doesn't it? So it's hard for me to not think about it and not reflect on it and not let it, my throat is so sore, and not let it play on your mind. Because just what I've accomplished in this last 6 years of being out of prison, let alone this last 6 months, when I think about the things that I could have done in that 21 years of offending and drug abuse, she strikes at the heart, I won't lie. It's a hard acknowledgement to make that you repeatedly chose to throw your life away and make poor decisions based off my perspectives, based off my core beliefs, based off the fact that I felt like the world owed me something and I could just do as I pleased because I'd had it worse than Tom, Scott, Bob, Frank, Henry, whoever. It was like I had this idea in my head that because I felt so much pain and so much betrayal and so much heartache and abandonment and all these things, I thought that gave me the right to make my own mind up and not take anyone else's opinions into consideration. And, for so long I'd hear people, it's not that I heard them, they'd say it straight to me. They'd say, oh, you are the company you keep. Oh, you hang with dogs, you get fleas. Oh, like so many Australian sayings. And for me, my perspective on it, and I've spoken about this in podcasts, I'm not going to name these men, but I've given at the time, 7 of my closest friends their first wax. Now, for people that don't know what that is the first time you used a syringe to take drugs. Now, that makes me feel sick. Oh, I don't want to cry on this video. Knowing what those 7 men's lives are like right now, like sitting here making this fucking video, knowing what that day done to all their lives. It didn't all happen in one day, obviously, but it all happened in the space of 6 months. So I ruined 7 of my best mates at the time. I ruined the rest of their lives, or until they're able to sit here like I am and acknowledge that drugs destroy us. I effectively ruined their lives for the next 2 decades, 3 decades. Some people never stop using. That's the hardest thing for me, and my perspective at the time was simply this: I'm younger than all he is. That was how I justified putting a needle in my best friend's arms, even though I knew it was wrong. I knew what it done to me. I knew how fucking crazy and retarded it made me in my thinking and my behaviours and my actions. But I would do things, and this is something I've acknowledged. I think I was having a constant panic attack for that whole 20 years of using amphetamines, because when you're not using it, you think and feel completely different. You get highly emotional, you will snap at the drop of a hat, and you become delusional. You start thinking about all the things that you feel and think when you're on the drug, that without it, you feel incomplete. So I knew exactly what I was doing when I put that needle in my friend's arms, and it does. It fucking kills me that I done that. And, you know, I could easily sit here and talk about the people that first put a needle in my arm, but that's not taking accountability. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. I didn't do that. I can't show remorse or take accountability for something that I didn't do. So it's something that, you know, when I have to think about things now in a normal, natural way of having no substances to affect my emotions or feelings towards the things I've done, fuck, it kills me, I won't lie. And I apologise to each and every one of you. I'm not going to name yous on here, of course. But, you know, some of them I don't even talk to anymore at all. Haven't spoken to them in years. And yet, I know, based off how it feels to think about the person that first put a needle in your arm, how that would feel. Thinking and looking and seeing me doing well, and they're still in that life. They're still criminals, they're still drug addicts, they're still psychos, they're still all these things that amphetamines make you or exacerbate. They make it worse. If you were already aggressive and violent and heartbroken and disconnected from reality and disconnected from family and all these things, that will only make it worse, I promise you. And, you know, when you, like I said, this video is about perspective, but these are some of the biggest things that will continue to affect me for the rest of my life, because I know how it is going to affect these people's lives forever. Until they are able to break through that threshold of drug use, that they'll see this video and straight away probably turn it off and then abuse me, turn it off and then call me every name under the sun. You know what I mean? Like, and that, it fucking kills me that I done that, because, like I said, it took me, what was I? I was 13 years old when I first had a needle put in my arm, so it took me 17 years to stop using amphetamines and stop using needles. And, you know, as I said, my perspective and my way of justifying doing it to other young people, we were all under the age of 16, but I was the youngest of our friends group. So that was how I justified it. I'm the youngest. It's not like I'm forcing you to do anything. I'm not making you do something. But here's the catch. I made it cool. I made it attractive. I made it sexy to a degree. Because I wasn't some dirty, junky fuck that used dirty, you know what I mean? Like, I made it seem like it wasn't that bad of a deal, and that it give you powers well beyond your natural abilities. And it does. Like, there's no disputing that, especially in the beginning. Within months of doing it, though, everything that it makes feel better, it makes feel worse. I promise you. And, you know, perspective, it's a crazy thing, because my perspective now, anyone, I don't give a fuck who you are. If you choose to encourage someone, anyone, and especially young people who have still got their whole lives ahead of them, who haven't even experienced life to the fullest yet to know what they want in life, if you encourage drug use, and especially needles and pipes and shit like that, you're fucking scum. Because at the end of the day, if you're already a drug addict and you've already been severely affected by your own drug use, you know wholeheartedly what it's going to do to them. You know full well that they are going to think it's the greatest thing on earth for that first couple of months. Then everything changes. Just like that. Just like that. Like, it's not it's yeah, perspective is a crazy thing, you know, because I can't stand the thought that I've done that now. Like, it fucking makes me emotional, and I'm doing my best to hold back tears now because I'm thinking about them all and their families, and, you know, the lives that they haven't had because of the lives they have had because of the things I fucking done. And, you know, it comes back to this as well. Like, I can sit here and apologise for all the things that I've done in my life to all the people that I've hurt, harmed and affected. But I should really be sitting here also apologising to these 7 men and their families, their brothers and sisters and fathers and mothers, and everyone who their offending and drug use has affected as well, because I was the one that led them down that road. Now, this ain't about me saying, oh, I'm the reason. There's no doubt in my mind all 7 of these men, young boys, at the time of these incidences, would have went on to do the same things, but I wouldn't have that responsibility in my mind and heart that I was the one that done it to them. That's the difference. And that wouldn't make me feel any worse or better if they were still in the exact same position in life they are right now. It really wouldn't, whether I done it or not. Just knowing that we grew up together and knowing how good their sense of humours and their personalities and how nice of people they are when they're straight, just like me, it's heartbreaking to know now that I can acknowledge it and be an absolutely straight person and voice my experiences and my insight into this shit. It really kills me to think about these boys, men. You know, I wish I could go back. And as I said, people always want to say, oh, you can't think about the past. Shut the fuck up. Don't fucking tell me what to think about. Like, and, yeah, you know, like, this is something else I used to say to ex-girlfriends of mine. They'd always say, stop apologising. Stop saying sorry. You've already said sorry. And you know what I used to say? The moment I stop saying sorry is the moment we go back down that road. The moment I stop apologising and feeling guilty and feeling remorse for the things I've done to you, said to you, done around you, the ways I've affected you, my perspective changes. Oh, you're over it. Fair enough. Let's go again. That was my perspective. And that wasn't a built-in mechanism that I had. It wasn't like, oh, if I don't say sorry once every 3 days or every time I raise my voice or smash something, I have to say sorry for everything. That was just built into me. Oh, you know, wanting people to know I'm sorry and that I don't mean a lot of the things I used to do, but my perspective was just fucked. And when you can justify living like that over and over and over again, it's so hard to sit back and have people tell you otherwise. You know, like, especially now. Like I said, people want to sit there and say, don't think about the past. The past is what's got me sitting here right now, telling these stories, talking about this toxic shit, like, in a positive light. I'm sure you can all acknowledge it. You would have things in your life that you've done that as soon as anything comes up, be it a name, a place, a time, like I can look at the time on a phone and memories come back to me of things that I've done, sitting there waiting for 1 o'clock in the morning, sitting there waiting for midday, sitting there waiting for 3 p.m. Like, I don't want to go into that shit because it's honestly too much, but like, when the time on a phone can give you fucking traumatic flashbacks of things you've done, it's not good, I promise you. Like, I am so overstimulated. I keep looking away because I can't look at the camera. I feel like I'm going to cry talking about this shit. I am now so overstimulated by anything and everything that brings up anything of my past, especially when cunts are saying, when I'm trying to talk about it in a common setting where people are, or putting posts on Facebook and people will say, oh, don't live in the past. Oh, you can't think about the past. I don't wish my life on anyone. I really don't. I don't wish my mind the things that I have to deal with day to day and process and try to eject from my thinking on anyone. Because in comparison, and this ain't me trying to justify, lessen the severity or mitigate the things I've done, but in comparison to some of the people I've met and know and are still out here in the community or in prison, I am not that bad of a person. I made some fucking horrible decisions that really affected other people's lives in ways that I can never take back and that I am wholeheartedly and eternally sorry for. But in terms of being a bad person, like someone that will never change, someone that is beyond help because of the things they have done to other people, that ain't me. That is not fucking me. And it just, I can't not think about the things that I did based off my perspectives, based off the way I viewed the world and viewed situations and viewed scenarios that would play out in front of me, how I would justify the decisions I would make. It's fucking hard, and as much as I just explained, as much as I'd like to just move forward and say, fuck the past, I don't think about the past is the past, let's just move forward, that's fucking selfish. And anyone that thinks otherwise is a fool, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'd feel foolish if I was trying to move forward with my life and didn't constantly, I can't help being reminded of the past. As I said, times on my phone, certain cars, certain places, especially around this city. I've said this and I'll say it all the time because I'm not just going to wake up one day and go, geez, I love Launceston. I love it as a place. I love the people that live here and I love the fact it's my home and I grew up here. But in terms of a stable, safe, secure place that I want my child to grow up in and I want to continue to grow up in, absolutely fucking not. I hate this place. But I can't just go through life not thinking about the things that I've done, not being apologetic and apologising for the past, because it shapes my thoughts now. It shapes my core beliefs now. It makes me think on a deeper level about how to conduct myself moving forward based off my perspective. If my perspective was fuck the past, I don't give a fuck about the past, that was the old me, I don't care. I don't think that would really, I don't think that would work. Not for me personally, because it's made me who I am. I'm too much of my past. I have too many deeply embedded experiences from my past that have made me who I am and taken things from me that I'll never get back. So I don't think I could just click my fingers now that I am no longer a drug addict, no longer a criminal, no longer a scum, no longer a lot of things, and just move forward with my life like none of that ever happened, and not apologise every time I think of something that I have done that's impacted and ruined and no doubt traumatised other people's lives. I can't do that. And as I said, I'm fucking sick of people telling me to do it. I was about to give shitty examples then, because that's what I mean. I get wound up, because it's like, I'm not even going to go into it. But yeah, everyone would have their own examples of things that they must think about, that they don't want to think about. It's not like I want to sit there and think about ruining people's lives. But as I explained, when I don't apologise, when I'm not being vocal, especially to the people that I've done it to, for me, I feel like I may make poor decisions somewhere down the line because I'm not taking full accountability for what I've done. I'm not sitting here acknowledging for other people to understand. And this ain't about, again, I'm obviously not glorifying what I've done. I'm highlighting it while we're talking about perspective. The decisions I made based off my perspectives. I want to make that clear. It's not like if I don't talk about it and I don't, apologise and all these sorts of things, that I'm going to wake up tomorrow and decide to give someone drugs. That's just retarded. But in terms of it really reinforcing my mindset It helps. I don't care what anyone else thinks. Me talking about these things, when I get off this camera, I have to fucking sit there and really, sometimes I can't do anything else but get off camera and just sit here like this. Just thinking about what I've just said. Not knowing, like I said before, I don't watch these videos over, I just upload them. Because if I watch them back, it'll make me emotional because I'm not trying to think and speak and hold emotion and all these things while I'm doing the video. Once the video's off and I'm just watching it, I wouldn't be able to post it. I really wouldn't, because as I said, it's hard for me to fucking say these things, and it's not about living in the past for me. It's about respecting the fact that it happened, all the while outlining why it's happened and trying to help other people learn how to avoid it. That your perspective, you can change perspective to your belief system, what you think, you can frame it however you want it. But the detailed way of saying it is, most people make their decisions and use their words and their actions based off their personal perspective, how they see the world, how they see the scenario, how they see the situation is how they make their decisions based off perspective. So that's why I keep saying that word. Now, this is another great example and completely off topic to what we just spoke about. I have people now, and it's only been very recent that anyone's put their name to it, but plenty of people want to message me anonymously and create fake accounts on Snapchat. And here's the thing, unless an account clearly says something that don't sit right with me, like the name of an account, I will just add. Doesn't matter if there's 10 or 100 on Snapchat, Facebook, it don't matter. Whether I know them or not, I'll just add. But here's the thing. When people are abusing me, running me down, calling me a shit cunt, calling me a liar, telling me I didn't say this or do that or fucking whatever, at the end of the day, if they were a part of my life at some point, I would have listened to what they had to say. I would have took it on board and tried to, delve into it and work out why they were saying it, how. Now, if you're not a part of my life, because my perspective back then was, if you're a part of my life or you know me or you've been around, your opinion mattered. And I wanted to hear it and I wanted to know, because I was a junkie, I was a drug addict, I was a criminal, and I didn't really think clearly. Now, my perspective is this. If you are no longer a part of my life, I couldn't give two fucks what you think. I couldn't give two fucks what you say, because everything coming out of your mouth is based off your personal perspective. It's not based off reality. It's not based off the facts. It's not based off anything but your hatred, resentment, and no doubt jealousy towards me. So I don't care anymore. People can say what they want. But at the end of the day, I do these videos to try and help people. So anyone getting on my Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, it don't matter. If you get on there and start posting negative, toxic, violent shit with no context, like you just say, bleh, and there's nothing saying, this is not the way to live, I wish things were different between us. If there's no positivity in the context of what you've said, I ain't going to leave it there. Simple as that. Because young and old people look at my content, and I do not want anything negative in there that is not followed up with context, so in-depth analysis or explanation of what's being said, as a way to prevent it from happening to others, as a way to teach others to learn how to go through life and not make these same decisions, end up in these same situations and circumstances. So I need to make that clear. Your perspective means shit to me unless it's a positive one. Unless you're trying to lift me and others up through what you say or what you do on my social media platforms, piss off. Don't get on there talking shit, mouthing off, and chatting shit at the end of the day, because it's only your perspective. It's only what you think. how you've seen it. And for me, like I said, if you're no longer a part of my life, I don't give a fuck what you have to say. I really don't. So perspective is a crazy thing because, you know, it's funny because, oh, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started, Richo. But yeah, it's like this. I can't remember. Is it Jim Rohn? Jim Ron? Either way, he's the old bloke that he's like a mindset coach. And his example of perspective is this. Two salesmen wake up one day and the first salesman looks out the window and goes, oh, it's pissing down with rain. What a terrible day to go and make sales. I can't work in this. The second one looks out the window and goes, oh, it's raining. Fabulous. Everyone's going to be home. What a great day to go and door knock and make some sales. That's perspective. If your perspective is negative always, you're always looking for an excuse, an easy way out, something to undermine hard work, having to make hard choices and then followed up by action. That's perspective. It's not about anything else. We live in a world now, I spoke about this with my brother and Mitch the other week. We live in a world now where we are so overstimulated by the creature comforts man created that I hate to think, and I'm an end of world type of guy. I always talk about what if this, what if that, conspiracies and things like that. But this is the reality. If things come to a grinding halt, like let's just use Tasmania, if for whatever reason no boats or planes come to our island, how long do you think we're going to have food for? How long do you think we're going to have all the common resources that we are so used to having readily available to just go down the shop and buy? How long do you think the service stations are going to have fuel for? How long do you think this little world that we live in, where everything's just readily available, we go without nothing, and if you're willing to go and work and earn a wage, you can buy anything you want in your price range. You know what I mean? Now, my perspective is this. If you don't have things put in place, and this is just one example, what would happen if for whatever reason, nature, an asteroid or a little meteorite, not a big one, but what if something fell out of the sky and landed on the main power station of Launceston and cut all our fucking power out, and it's going to take months to rebuild it? What would you do? I'm asking you all, what would you do? Your perspective of that is, oh, he's talking shit as if it's going to happen. But hypothetically, let's say it does happen, and our state government turns around and says, we are so sorry, but this ain't a car hitting a power pole. A fucking rock fell from space and landed on the power station that took 10 years to build. It's going to take 5 years to fix it and get power back to you all. Not many of you, and I'm not talking about myself and my family because I've put things in place to make sure that there's not much other than dying that can change things for us. But anyway, most people don't even have the common sense based off their perspective of how the world works and how life's so kosher and just easy and everything's readily available, and that would never happen. I'm here to tell you, accidents happen, things happen, wars happen. So that's just an example. People's perspectives of, turning the light switch on and there's always power. And if there's not, they make one phone call and they're told over the line that it'll be, a car hit a power pole or a tree fell on a power line, or their perspective is just warped. They think that everything's going to be the same way it is always, especially when you haven't experienced anything in severity. So that's my question to you. What would you do if all of a sudden we were getting knocks on the door because you've now got no power, so you can't charge your phone? So within 3 days, or most people, 1 day, your phone's flat. Now, you may have a power bank, but that'll be flat within a day too, because you'll be charging everything in your house with it that you can. iPads and phones and gimbals like my phone's in. Just ask yourself that. what would you do? How would you fix it? You've now got no internet. No one does. You've now got no power. No one does. All these things, right? You just take that one aspect of life away from everyone who've lived, like people are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. They have kids and grandkids, but yet because of the comforts of life and the perspective that things are just the way they are and they'll never change, if we just lose that one simple commodity, power, guess what? Your fridge, your freezer, your food, everything goes out the window within a matter of weeks. Like, you'll literally be left with nothing. No internet, no power, no food, no freezer. Like, you can't cook unless you know how to fucking light fires, and you know what I mean? Like, just power going changes a lot of things. So that's why I wanted to talk about perspective today. My perspective is this: be prepared. Put things in place to make sure that yourself, and especially your children and your family and your family's children, are not in a position ever, no matter what happens, where you're vulnerable, where you're struggling, where you don't have commodities and necessities and things that are readily available now, doesn't mean they will be forever. So perspective plays a massive role in everything we do, because, here's another example. A lot of people will sit there and say, oh, yeah, no, I own my house. I own this. I own that. It depends your definition of owning something. Most people, 95% of people, 99% of people, because they have a stable job, that their perspective is they're not going to lose that job, they'll sit there and tell you they own their home and own their car and own this and own that, when in reality, the bank owns it. In reality, if they lose their job, their perspective of what they own and what's important is going to go like this, because when things happen that are unexpected and you don't anticipate it, all of a sudden, if you own something, you shouldn't be paying anyone else. You shouldn't be giving anyone else money for something that you own. That don't make sense, does it? So no, if you've got a mortgage, if you've got this, car repayments, you don't own it. It's that simple. But the perspective is, oh no, I've got this amazing job and I'll never lose that job, I'm not planning on losing that job, so I own it because I'll pay it off in 5 years, 50 years, doesn't matter. That's perspective. Look what happened with COVID. Look how many people lost their jobs. Look how many businesses closed down. Look how many people didn't get to see their loved ones again because they died while they were in isolation. Like, that's another great thing with perspective. As people have said in the past, you should live every day like it's your last, because you don't know if you're going to go to sleep and not wake up. You don't know if you're going to walk outside and accidentally get struck by lightning, hit by a car, attacked by dogs. You don't know. You just don't know. Like, me and Mitchell Watson were talking about it yesterday. Happy birthday to my brother. Today it is. 25 young. I'm not big on destiny. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't matter if you go left, right, straight, up, down, or how fast you go about it. You can dawdle or you can sprint. It doesn't matter. Your fate's sealed. I don't believe that. That's not me personally. I think we control our own destinies. We are the writers of our own stories. No one's telling me to sit here and make this video, and at the end of the day, accidents happen. It's not about destiny for me. Like, you can always be super conscious and super aware and hyper vigilant and all these things, but accidents still happen. And for me, that's not destiny, that's just life. And this is the thing, when you have the perspective and the view that there is a destiny set out for you, I don't know, I believe it restricts you. That's my opinion. If you just go through life thinking anything is for certain, that's a flawed way of thinking, in my opinion. That's my perspective. Because as I have demonstrated through how my life's changed especially this last 6 years, you can go from being the most horrible, ugliest, emotionless, fearless, retarded, dumbass to me sitting here right now. As I said, I don't mind saying I'm intelligent now. I don't mind saying I'm smart. I'm not narcissistic. I'm not on myself. I will stop and talk to anyone so long as they're not in the street fucking doing retarded shit because they're drugged off their head. I will stop and talk to anyone if they want to speak to me. I will converse with anyone in a well-mannered, polite, calm way. As long as that's being reciprocated, I will do what I can to help anyone using my life's experiences. It's not about that for me. But at the end of the day, we get one life. And, you know, who wants to... This is how I've explained it to people close to me just recently. I look at it like this. If I die today, would I be happy with my daughter or my family going through life exactly like I did until the day I died? Absolutely fucking not. And my perspective is this. Yeah, it's their lives. They can live it how they want to live it. But when you're the first generation of your family, so me being the first generation, my daughter being the second generation, when you're the first generation of your family, because I don't have, well, I do have a parent, but anyway, when you're the first generation of your family that's left, that responsibility is now on you to help shape and create the future for the second generation. And my perspective is this. We are not taught in schools, colleges, universities, anywhere, how to adapt to the real world. Perspective is everything. People can go to school and learn about finances, that's fine. Do they teach you financial literature, like the history and studies and data around intergenerational wealth transfer, generational wealth in general? Do they teach you how to open up trust funds and mutual trust funds? And no, absolutely not. Why? Because that's the smart thing to do. They don't want us all being fucking smart, because that's not how it works. And that's perspective. If you go through life thinking that everything you're given, shown, taught and learned is as far as it goes, well, guess what? That's as far as you go. Now, if you have been born with all your senses, all your faculties, you are healthy and you wake up every day able-bodied, your perspective should be that you want to create something amazing for your family, your bloodline. Your perspective should be that you want to leave a legacy that children of your children's children that you will never meet actually benefit from the decisions that you make in this life right now. Now, I know that sounds a bit fucking out there, whatever. But again, when you've lived the life I lived and you were the most selfish, non-convincing person, someone that could not take advice, would not listen to other people, thought I knew best, and yet everything I did was just fucking selfish and all about me, putting my own hurt and heartbreak and emotions before anything else, trust me, that is the most significant mind shift, mentality shift that I have made since becoming this new version of me. I don't give a fuck about anyone else right now, because perspective for me is, if you can't even put things in place to protect and provide and ensure your own family, your own bloodline safety for generations, for the years to come, let alone generations to come, are you really going to go waste your time with some girl that you won't be with in 6 months, 6 years? Are you really going to go waste your time drinking every weekend, not knowing what could happen while you're out there drinking, partying around a bunch of other lunatics who have probably got all the same issues, but yet using alcohol and drugs and social networking in unsafe social environments to party every weekend? Not knowing if someone's going to king hit you, stab you with a broken bottle, get hit by a car, drink, drive, and like, it comes back to perspective. Because I wasted 21 years of my life, now I want to use the next 21 years to make up for that last 27. So perspective can do a lot of things. And, you know, I hope this video changes a lot of people's perspectives just with the examples I've given. Just imagine if you lose power for 6 months, 6 weeks. Your food in your freezer's gone in fucking a week and a half, 2 weeks. Just imagine it. Imagine not having anywhere to go to charge your phone. What good is it to you anyway if there's no internet? But anyway, what good is anything if you've got no power? What good are you if you've got no electricity? What can you do to provide for your family if you lose electricity? If you live in a world where the creature comforts of life have your perception so warped of reality that you just think everything's going to be the same way all the time, I'll tell you exactly what you'd do if we lost electricity for 6 weeks or let alone 6 months. You'd lose your mind. You'd be fucking more stressed out than you've ever been. Because, like, perspective. Again, I know it's a severe example of why you should change your perspective on many things. But just that one example should open your eyes to the world we live in. Like, everything's not as it seems, and your perspective when it comes to reality needs to be realistic. Just ask yourself, what would you do if we lost electricity? Anyway, we had a bit of a roundabout go today, didn't we, Richo? Talking about some random things, but that's all good. Have a good day, everyone, and God bless. Perspective is key.